From grunt to boss, welcome to the Villain Ascension challenge. We must start with the only Pokemon a grunt would use. All others must be stolen until we are promoted. In this challenge, we must battle in ranked double battles in the highest tier of Pokemon. And we will achieve not only high ranks in Master Ball tier, but the #1 in Master Ball tier. We must randomly pick one villainous team to be a part of, starting as a grunt. We must make a team with Pokemon available at the grunt level of our team. They may evolve if they have participated on the battle for at least one turn. If you win a battle, you may steal one of the opponent's Pokemon that was used and was on the field for at least one turn. Stolen Pokemon are yours to use for the challenge. They must maintain that form, but can be changed in any other way you wish and remain ranked legal. To start off, we must randomly roll one villainous team. Welcome to another episode of the Villain Ascension challenge, and we don't have a team change too much, but we did do something. We changed our Miraidon's Terror Type 2 Fairy because we were noticing that we were getting hit with dragon moves quite a bit, but also it provides a useful resistance to fighting in some situations. And I've noticed quite a few times when I would have won if I was just Terra Fairy, and the Terra Electric was not doing it. So, we did mostly just a change to make it Terra Fairy, and that's all the changes for now. We didn't win at all last episode, so we're just going to get straight into the battles. Alright, welcome to another battle, and we're facing a Miraidon Archaluidon, and this is somewhat dangerous, but we lead our Murkrow and Annihilate because we're confident Annihilate can deal with some of these threats. With probably the Archaluidon being the bigger threats, but we decided to go for the speed control, and we're going to Terra right away because we know those big electric moves are coming. It is possible this Archaluidon is going to switch into a Kyogre, so that way they get a big Electro Shot off. But we're just going to do a simple Drain Punch because we're not sure how often we're going to get hit. And if we're going to get hit, probably not for very much. So we're just going to Terra to Grass, resist these electric moves, and we Tailwind. And we do get a Drain Punch off first. We know that we're going to get it off first, likely with this Tailwind. So there was not much point in going for a Rage Fist. And the Volt Switch does KO Murkrow, which is unfortunate. We don't have further speed control, but it's fine. So my initial thought is likely this is going to be a switch into Kyogre to get the rain up for that immediate Electro Shot, which indeed it is. It is a Kyogre setting that rain. He really wants that +1 off the Electro Shot, and yes, indeed, Electro Shot it is. And it goes for a big Electro Shot into our Annihilate, but we actually eat it pretty darn well. We get a +1 on the Rage Fist, and we send in our Amoonguss. We go double Grass against all of the water and electric that this opponent is threatening us. So we're just going to decide we're going to heal up the Annihilate. We can take whatever it throws. We're just going to throw a Seed Bomb at this Kyogre, but the Kyogre actually switches out, which is not ideal. We wanted to see the Kyogre stay in for a bit, but nonetheless, we do get our Seed Bomb off. We do a little bit of damage to his Tornadus, and another Electro Shot comes. And the special attack on this Archaluidon keeps going up. And it hits into the Amoonguss this time, and we decide to Pollen Puff. Since we cannot Spore with the Electric Terrain, we're just in this situation. But we can Spore this Tornado since it is Flying type. So now we can Spore it. And we're deciding between the Rage Fist and the Drain Punch onto this Archaludon. So it depends if this Archaludon wants to Terra or not, but we're just going to go for the Drain Punch, thinking that it likely does not Terra. And although it gets a stamina boost, we are both kind of boosting, but we get another Rage Fist boost. And we get that speed drop, gives us a defiant boost of our attack, which is very nice. Again, that was something we were kind of hoping for if it did happen. And the Archaludon goes for more Electroshots and KOs our Amoonguss. So now we can bring our Miraidon and really threaten these Pokemon. So the question then becomes, what do we do? And we could Dazzling Gleam, do some damage to both. And we could probably Drain Punch out this Archaludon now. That's the thought, is that the +2 Drain Punch plus a Dazzling Gleam probably is enough. So we go for that. And unfortunately, this Tornadus protects. That's fine. We still get the damage off on the Archaludon, although stamina boosts its defense. This should neutralize out what we were doing before, and we KO the Archaludon with a super effective Drain Punch. The crit probably did not matter. With a +2 attack and it being +2 defense is relatively negligible. And our team, our Tailwind does go, which is unfortunate, and Kyogre does come in with their own Tailwind available. And they did not set it up yet, so they will be able to this turn. We will be able to Seed Bomb his Kyogre, thinking it is Water Terra, hence it won't need to Terra to something else. That is kind of the bet. It could have Terra Grass, but we're just betting on it being a Terra Grass, a Terra Water, so it won't matter for it. We go for the Seed Bomb, and we do KO this Kyogre. And the rain does go, and electricity does go, which is the bummer for us right now, but we have to keep in mind they did have a Miraidon of their own. And we come into the situation where we kind of wish we had a swap ability, the ability to swap, or we had that protect. But what can we do? We go for the Drain Punch, trying to heal up a bit. Although Rage Fist was a lot of damage, we really could have gone for that. In hindsight, we really could have gone for that Rage Fist, but that's okay. The idea is that we heal off with the Drain Punch, and we Terra on the opponent's side. The opponent does Terra to Fairy, which is unfortunate. This is really the reason why maybe I should have gone for not exactly Drain Punch, but for the Rage Fist. And we do get a Rage Fist boost, which would have helped here quite a bit. And we do KO this Thundurus. That Electro Drift. And unfortunately we die to our own Life Orb, which is quite a bummer. And this is where, yeah, we really should have used that Rage Fist. That would have done it. And it really would have done it here. So, unfortunately, we are going to get hit, and we are probably going to die. And unfortunately, we do. So, we lose this one. Lesson learned. We should have Rage Fist in this situation. We would have had it, but with that, it's the end of the battle. and welcome to another battle. And the opponent sends out a Glimora and a Rillaboom, and we get our Annihilate and Murkrow out. This is a very interesting, but fortunately our Annihilate is on the field before Toxic Spikes become a thing. So we're going to take advantage of that Rillaboom being weak to poison with our Poison Jab. So we're going to Tailwind. We cannot really be faked out because Ghost type plus our Covert Cloak. They attempt it anyway, but we reveal that Covert Cloak and get our Tailwind off anyway. And we get a nice Poison Jab onto this Rillaboom. And the Glimora reveals a Meteor Beam. So the question is, who does it hit? With the Murkrow probably going to die to it. And Annihilate probably wouldn't take that much damage. But the Murkrow does take the hit and goes down. But that is fine. Murkrow's done its job. It's got the Tailwind off. That's fine. So, we decide we're going to throw in a Moongift since it can resist pretty much everything here. It resists pretty much everything these Pokemon can do. So, and Miraidon is not an ideal thing to show off right now. So, we're just going to Poison Jab up this Rillaboom, and we're going to Spore the Glimora. Put to sleep, make it do nothing. That's the idea, and the opponent will probably be attacking our Annihilate pretty hard here, since, yep, they want that damage on the Annihilate. It needs to go down for them, but Annihilate gets that return, gets that KO onto the Rillaboom, and the Glimora does have a free hit onto Annihilate, but it doesn't do that much damage because of our Assault Vest. We get another Rage Fist boost. Overall, 2 Rage Fist boosts over this turn, and we're not that damaged. And we get a little bit of healing from the grassy terrain for ourselves. This is looking like a great situation for Annihilate this game. Dondozo comes out again. Annihilate really doesn't mind this because of how we can really get, regardless if it's unaware, this Dondozo will not like the Rage Fist eventually if it does not tear out of its weakness to grass. And we decide to tear it to grass, resist those dangerous wave crashes as a premier damage that this Dondozo could throw at us. So we're just going to tear it to grass. And Dondozo unfortunately goes for the Protect, predicting what we do, but that's fine. We really threaten them. And this puts us in a great position going forward, because it means this Glimora will probably have to switch out if they want that Tatsugiri in to get the Commander ability off. So, in spite of us not doing anything right now, we do get a little bit of healing, and we get to threaten them again. Now, we're thinking they do Terra to Grass, since they've seen the double grass target into the Dondozo. We're just going to go and heal up the Annihilate, just heal off any damage that may come up our way, or an Order Up, or as the only damage really right now that the Dondozo can throw, as likely this Glimora switches out into the Tatsugiri. And yep, the Glimora does indeed switch out. Tatsugiri does indeed come in. And the Commander ability goes off. Gives the Dondozo +2 in all of its stats. Leaving the Dondozo as the only Pokemon in the field. So. And regardless of... And there it is the Terra. It is likely to be grass or something else that could resist what we were just doing. Yes, it is indeed grass. It's going for immunity from the Spore, and we kind of predicted this, so we went for the Poison Jab, see if we get lucky, and we do get lucky with that poison. Amazing. That will do amazing damage over time. And the Order Up does indeed hit into Annihilate, and we get our Rage Fist boost. We're putting low, but that's fine. Pollen Puff will heal us back up. And we do get that extra HP from the grassy terrain, but they will lose a little bit more than they gained from the poison. And our Tailwind goes, but that's fine. Now our Rage Fist is looking like a lot of damage now. So we're just going to keep going with the same plan. We're going to let Annihilate get hit. And boom, that's another Rage Fist boost. We still live. And now we have a 250 base power Rage Fist coming for this Dondozo. It does an okay amount of damage, but we are bulky. Just as they are bulky, we can out heal what they're doing. So we're healing, even though they're getting more dangerous with their order ups. Nonetheless, this is a great position for us. We still have more in the back, and our Rage Fist is even more powerful, and we can keep doing this. But we're gonna take a little bit. We're gonna go a little bit safe here. So we decide, in case the order up would kill, we go for the 300 base power Rage Fist, and we kill the Dondozo. And now, even though the Dondozo is down, the Tatsugiri will become vulnerable and has done nothing this turn, which means it will be hit by this Pollen Puff. Even though we would have liked for Annihilate to receive the healing, nonetheless, this is a good position. Now, the Tatsugiri often is a choice scarf set, so, or a spec set. So we're going to kind of see, in case it does go for a more powerful move into Annihilate, we're just going to try to heal up a bit with our own Drain Punch, and probably redirect this hit with a Rage Powder, just to see what this Tatsugiri does, and take advantage of that Glamora's Sleep. And the Tatsugiri reveals a Muddy Water. Now, we don't know for sure if there's a Scarf or not, and we do not get the accuracy drop, which is okay. We get a Drain Punch, and we heal quite a bit. Now, this Muddy Water could reduce our accuracy. It becomes a double-edged sword at that point, and of course the Toxic Debris activates on the Glamora, but we get into an interesting position. We can now really Rage Fist for a lot of damage, but what do? We could Rage Fist this Glamora, we could Rage Powder, we could try to sleep the Tatsugiri, we could try to heal. There's quite a bit we could do, but the Glamora could wake up. It's always a risk. So we're just going to go for the risk and try to heal our own Annihilate. But the Glamora does wake up and does the spiky shield. And that was unfortunate for us, because that means that was our target, which does mean that Annihilate will, and we do get our Rage Power buff. And we get that Defiant boost off that accuracy drop. But unfortunately, we make no use of it hitting into this spiky shield. And with that, unfortunately, Annihilate does go down. That was just enough damage that Annihilate could not recover from. So, unfortunately, our Pollen Puff fails because we do not have a valid target, but that's fine. We still have Miraidon. Miraidon is a very strong Pokemon in this situation. Regardless of us being poisoned, we're in a very, very good situation, because we can just kind of nuke everything. So we're just going to take care of this Glamora while we have the chance. Rage Powder, just in case for some reason this Glamora is bulky and can live. But this should be a pretty good cleanup of the battle. And Muddy Water, Miraidon avoids. And Almungus avoids. Amazing. That was a useless Muddy Water. It wasn't even a drizzle. And there we go. Glamora is taken care of with that Electro Drift down. And they have just a Tatsugiri left. And we have a feeling, we have a very strong feeling and reason to believe this Tatsugiri is locked into Scarf. Hence, we can just Dazzling Gleam and heal our Miraidon just to ensure safety. And Tatsugiri uses Muddy Water, Miraidon avoids, and we are looking good. So we Dazzling Gleam, take care of this Tatsugiri, and we win again. We win! We get to steal yet another Pokemon to add to this team. So, we'll decide in just a minute. Alright, welcome to another battle. We added Glimmer and we added the Sash onto Urshifu, and so we're bringing a Miraidon and Murkrow lead. We're thinking that this perhaps is a good lead, better lead than what we've been doing against Koraidon, since Annihilate really isn't good into this lead. Since it has the Terra doesn't really mean anything, and these Pokemon are more likely to be susceptible. Koraidon is much more likely to be susceptible to the Terra from our Miraidon. So really, we're just gonna have to go for it. We're just at the gamble that the Koraidon does not Terra, but it's all a gamble, really. It's a gamble of whether we Terra, they Terra. It's really a gamble, because they could also take the same gamble. They could hit us with Fire move, expecting us to Terra, or they could try to hit us with a Dragon move or a Fighting move, expecting us to not Terra. And unfortunately, we lose the gamble that they don't Terra. They do, in fact, Terra to Fire. So they were predicting that we would Terra, and unfortunately, that is not what we were looking for. We're looking for that they did not Terra. So unfortunately, we lose the gamble, but nonetheless, we will not be weak to the Moonblast, which could be an advantage. So we hit off our Dazzling Gleam. We hit them both. We at least break that Fluttermane Sash. We actually do quite a good chunk to Fluttermane, which is a good situation for us. The Moonblast does quite a lot, and we do get the special attack drop, and the Flame Charge is also quite a bit. And it is enough to take out our Miraidon. Unfortunately, we have wasted our Terra, and this is a situation where they really had no reason to kind of do what they did. But nonetheless, we have forced out their Terra, which does put us in position for Glimmora. Since the Fire Terra does make it weak to Glimmora now, it no longer, and this Glimmora is actually fairly good against Fluttermane. So we're just going to use a Foul Play and a Meteor Beam. Just going to focus down this Koraidon, and we really want to do something about this. And we really Foul Played into the Fluttermane, because you never know what it's going to do, and unfortunately Murkrow just could not live that Moonblast. That's fine. Glimmora gets off the Meteor Beam. And the question is whether it hits after we get our Power Herb to get off this turn. And it does indeed hit the Koraidon, taking it out, which was the premier threat that we see on this team. So that is good for us. Although Annihilate is unable to Terra, and our Terra would have been actually kind of useful against the Fluttermane, since it probably is one of the stronger ends of the Fluttermane in terms of special attack. Fluttermane is one of those Pokemon that can run bulk or special attack or speed, and you never really know where on the spectrum it is. So now we see it in Indeedee, and we get signs of the Trick Room, that they do indeed have a Ice Rider Calyrex in the back. That is the signs that we see with Indeedee here. And unfortunately, we do not have a great neutral hit if they use a Follow Me. So that is the trouble with this moveset against exactly Flutter Mane and Indeedee. So we're just going to hit it with a neutral, and we're going to do the same with the Glimmora, and we're really going to focus down this Flutter Mane just because it is inherently a threat to Annihilate. And, oh, yep, that was a lot of damage. We really do have to KO this. And we do with that Sludge Bomb. And we get the Poison Jab off. And the Trick Room goes off. Unfortunately, this does provide a good in for Ice Rider, but there wasn't much choice. We really did have to take care of that Flutter Mane. And we know they cannot Terra, but we do have to deal with the turns of Trick Room. So we're going to attempt to Drain Punch, and we're deciding what to do. We're going to throw out the Sludge Bomb, thinking it's the most damage regardless of who it hits, regardless if a Follow Me comes out. So that's what we do. And yep, the Indeedee does indeed go for Follow Me. And the Calyrex goes for Glacial Lance, which is a big threat to us. Glimmora takes quite a big chunk, and Toxic Debris spreads Toxic Spikes, but it means nothing after they have already potentially switched. So we're just going to Sludge Bomb, poison the Indeedee, which is pretty darn good for us. So we're just going to Poison Tick them. Our Tailwind goes, which is fine, and we check the turns of Trick Room, and we see a out. We have to do triple Spiky Shield if we can stall out this Indeedee, but that means we do have to take multiple turns of successful Spiky Shields, which Spiky Shield, like all of the Protect moves, has chance of failure, which is successful use. So the first use will always work, but each successive use after that will have an increased chance of failure. But nonetheless, we have to gamble on this since we have to stall 3 turns. And the HP range that Indeedee is in is pretty good for us. Hence, we could afford to do that. We see that the poison will indeed take it out in this following turn. If we get the following Spiky Shield, this is going for the win. Spiky Shield yet again. And we have the second one. We really need the third one to have a chance. And Glacial Lance protects into our Spiky Shield. It means nothing. And we go for the final. And there we go. Indeedee goes down to the poison, which is exactly what I saw with the poison damage and how much HP it had. I knew this was the play. This was my only way to win. We have to play to our wins. So we try for the triple Spiky Shield. Unlikely to happen. Unfortunately, it fails. We do not get the third Spiky Shield, and that is it for Glimmora. Unfortunately, we do not have the win. This is it for our game, and that's it. That's the end of our battle. Good game, City Pop. And that will be all for today's episode. We successfully got another Pokemon today, Glimmora, which is quite a good choice right now. It's a Pokemon for sure. It has high special attack, and I thought, you know what, that's probably what we need right now. So, well, not much I can say. We made some misplays, but that was all we could do, and we played to our best, and this is a challenge for a reason. We're going to become #1, but we will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.